Welcome to Gigi's Place. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about where we are. We are here in Glen Rose, Texas at the Creation Evidence Museum. I cannot wait to show you all the dinosaur stuff. Stay tuned. Hi, welcome to Gigi's Place. I'm so glad you came. Come on in. Let's have some fun.
This is called the death pose. Most dinosaurs that are articulated, articulation means the bones are in their approximate right place, and these show the neck and the head pulled back. And it is assumed that that's from suffocation, even among creationists. Evolutionists have a difficult time explaining that because it's so drastic, these huge, powerful animals. But electrocution does that. If I were to take the stun gun in my pocket and hold it here, in a short time, your hand would curve up. Psalm 77 describes that during the flood, there was electromagnetic discharge that went out so that lightning went out into the heavens. So the death pose, in my opinion, is primarily the result of being electrocuted. So all of this occurred very rapidly as they were caught up in this incredible judgment against our sin. That's how horrible our sin is. And Jesus experienced all that sin. He became sin for us at Calvary so that we might be made the righteousness of God in Him. I wouldn't trade that for all the world, all the dinosaurs, all the universe.
What we find here is a display of God's wrath, God's judgment upon the earth. It's stark. Now, nowhere in there are you going to see a board that says God destroyed the world by a flood. You will not find that anywhere. As a matter of fact, you'll find everything other than that. That one thing will never be said because it is what God said. So, who are you going to believe? Are you going to believe the folks that have created the signage, or are we going to believe the Bible? And also, let's look at the evidence. All this evidence is the exact same evidence you're looking at or anyone else is looking at. You have a different perspective, different starting point than they do. They reject this idea that God created us. They reject the idea of a global flood. But we start from that point, and we also say, look, that it really does line up. If you went into this dig and you were just finding what you're finding without any presupposition, you would come to the conclusion that there had to be heat, there had to be abrasion, there has to be a massive calamity because of the scale of this.
That's
These
right.
formations, the Morrison is, you said, states wide, right?
Yes.
The formation that you're finding, your fossils, the formations that are here is all the same formation. So this isn't a little twist in the river issue. This is a really big, massive catastrophe that is, again, a sign of God's judgment.
And we are not building our explanation on supposition or philosophy. By nature, I'm a very objective, and even though I may not express it outward, a very critical person. I don't want to be sold a bill of goods that is not true. So we have actual evidence that there was a flood, that it was global in nature. We have evidence from biology and microbiology that these living systems had to be created. No evolutionary process could produce them. So we're on solid scientific ground and factual ground. We want the truth.
Okay, everybody, this is my friend, Miss Belinda, and she actually is a part owner of the land where Dr. Baugh is doing all of his digging on. You've been watching pieces of a professional video. Well, I got the real live person right here. Tell us how you found that first dinosaur on your property.
Well, about 24 years ago, we took our pastor on vacation with his family. And it was Pastor Tommy Frumenthal that went over the top and went over the rock ledge, we say, down into this little area. And he began with his little Boy Scout hatchet digging up stuff. And he found the first articulated stegosaur spinal column.
Wow.
And we just started digging, and the rest is 24 years of 17 dinosaurs now that we found, different ones. So it's
and you do this, well, Dr. Baugh does this dig every year?
Every August. Now, we used to do it twice a year, but now, with him being so busy and just people, getting so busy, we go every August.
What brought you out here in the first place? What inspired you to come to this part of the world to look for dinosaurs?
Well, we are in the magnificent West, and people look for an opportunity to go west. Go west,
I mean,
young man.
just look right here. We have this amazing old log cabin. I mean, these were pioneers. These were settlers. And, you know, the mentality's still here.
It is. You can feel it. You can sense it. And in this area, it requires a spirit of pioneering. Mm-hmm. Here we are on the prairie, or beyond the prairie, among the hills, the escarpments in the background. And once in a while, you can hear a lark in the background. And then you hear the hawk after his prey. It's a magnificent place, even if you have to travel half a day to get to the scenery you want. So why did I come? Well, I got a call. I've done a lot of radio and television work. I got a call from a Christian family. They're part owners of this large ranch, very large ranch. And they said our pastor was here and he discovered what we think might be dinosaur bones. Can you look at them? So they traveled all the way to Glenrose, to the museum, and looked at the bones. Yes, they were dinosaurs. So they said, can you come excavate whatever's there? So I got a team together, came out to excavate, but we found that we were at the edge of BLM land, Bureau of Land Management. It's federally managed.
So you have to make sure you're on private property.
Private property, that is essential, absolutely essential. We had not taken any bones out. We had just exposed a little further what their pastor had discovered. So we covered them back, left them precisely where they were. And almost at that exact moment, the foreman's wife, the ranch foreman's wife, came up on a four-wheeler and her granddaughter on a bicycle. So the granddaughter said, Grandma, she was 9 years old. She said, I think maybe I know where there's a few dinosaur bones on the other side of the ranch. All right, let's go. So the little girl led us, 9-year-old girl, on her bicycle, and she beat us to the spot. Of course, she knew where she was going. But across this prairie and the terrain, I mean, it was really dramatic.
And these are huge ranches. I mean, thousands of acres, right?
Thousands of acres, tens of thousands of acres. And it takes a long time to get where you want to go. So we got to that little ravine, and sure enough, there were a few fragments of dinosaur bones, which meant that the dinosaur was up much higher, and the erosion and the weathering filtered those down. So I said to the grandmother, I'm more interested in that cliff over there because I see some discoloration. So they stayed down there, and I went up to the cliff and started working around, and I discovered a little bone about the size of my little finger. And I said, come up, we might find a dinosaur. So I gave her the right tools, a trowel, a brush, and a little patiche. That's a French word for a pick. And so she was working. I went around her to the face. With the larger patiche, I struck, and on the third strike, I hit the end. Of course, it was all embedded in the side of the mountain, the end of a huge femur. Almost as tall as I am, and the femur weighs, in its petrified state, 450 pounds. And that was the beginning.
I just want you to see the wall where Gigi was standing. Is this amazing? Look at that bone. I'm going to get a picture of Gigi standing by that bone in a minute. Guys, that's the foot and the femur, the leg bone. And look how tall. We're standing on the second floor. So the body of that dinosaur would have even been bigger. Are you guys seeing this? It says the Ark of Noah. Now look, this is built to scale. It's a museum and there's people here and they're all looking. Let's go take a closer look. Look what's up above. Ooh, okay. Okay, so this is what the outside looks like. Now, you know this is built to a scale of the dimensions that are listed in the Bible. They didn't just decide to build it because this is how much room they had, okay? Now, we're going to walk around on the other side and see a cutaway of the places where Noah had the animals. Look at this.
Back up, she's recording.
It's okay, it's okay. Look at this. Wait a minute, this must be a mistake. There's a dinosaur in there. You couldn't possibly put a dinosaur in the ark, could you? Yeah, you could if you took little ones. And there's Papa Noah and some of his family. Look at that. There's a dinosaur down there. Look how far down. Lots of dinosaurs. Wow. Oh my goodness. Oh my good. Look, would they have to tell you do not touch if you were face to face with a real dinosaur? Or a hippopotamus? You know, Baby Bear can't say hippopotamus. He says hippopotamus. Look at that. Okay, I found a friend out here at Creation Evidence Museum. What's your name?
Cheyenne.
And can you tell me how old you are?
8.
8. And do you like dinosaurs?
Yes.
What's your favorite one?
The T-Rex.
The T-Rex. You know he's one of the biggest, right?
Yeah.
Do you think he's scary?
Not really.
Do you think there was a T-Rex on the ark?
No.
Oh, I think there probably was, but it was a little one. Maybe not a baby, but maybe an older one. Babies need moms, right?
Maybe a teenager.
I think the teenager's probably right. Okay, Cheyenne, thanks for talking to us.
You're welcome.
Bye. Okay, now you do understand that this is a museum, so as I'm showing you this, it's a replica. It is not the real thing, because the real thing wouldn't have a fence post right down the middle of it, or a ceiling fan. So I'm going to show you a poster so you can see the writing for everything that is. See the replica of the dinosaur bone, and approximately where it was found, the footprints. Oh my goodness, this is an exciting place to be. And look out here. They're in the playground. Do you see? It's like a little playpen. Some of you have to stay in a playpen at your house so you don't get in trouble. Well, here's these 2 little babies. But they're not babies, are they? Are they babies? Maybe. Can you see that? Creation Evidence Museum and Archaeological Excavations. Thursday through Saturday, 10 to 4 p.m. And there's the phone number and the email address. Guys, this is dinosaur country. So many dinosaur relics have been found out here. And down that road where that car was just going, there is another dinosaur world place. But this is Dr. Carl Baugh's place. He's the guy that you've been seeing on the videos. And you know you want to see this side. Museum open today. It's been a busy day of filming here at Gigi's place. All the little dinosaurs are hooped. Like and share and subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you next time on Gigi's place.